So 3 questions to ask yourself when you start experiencing pain before a workout, during a workout, or maybe in the days after one. First of all, take a moment, take a really big deep breath, because I know the thoughts that typically go through our heads. What in the world do we do? What is the next couple days gonna look like? Oh, am I gonna have to go to the doctor? We start essentially catastrophizing about everything that we could have possibly done wrong in the movement or done wrong with the weight selection, et cetera, et cetera. And typically, it only contributes to that pain farther. So the first thing we do is take a moment and begin to ask yourself these few questions. The first question, and one that I ask a lot of our clients, is gonna be, one, what does the last week look like? And I do get a lot of confused looks, and I follow that up with, well, how has life been for you? How's your sleep been? How have your stress levels been? Have you had any big life events? And the reason that is important is because you could be doing the exact same workout you've done over and over. You could be doing a move with perfect form and perfect execution. You did a great job in selecting load, and for some reason, pain comes in. And then when we start to talk about it a little bit more, we realize, oh yeah, I've had 3 hours of sleep the last couple nights. Or yeah, I'm facing a huge stressor at work. I got a big deadline I gotta get to, and it's just really taking up a lot of my mental bandwidth. Or, there is a big life event, and ultimately I've just been a bit sad lately due to this event. And these are things that contribute, because pain is multifactorial. As much as many of us want to just pinpoint to, you did this exercise like that, but there's many things that are going on, and it's the first question that I go to. The next, if we know that kind of checks out and nothing has really changed, is, hey, did we do something new? Are we in a new range of motion, a totally new movement? Do we go up in weight to a new kind of tier? And when I ask these things, it's important because a lot of times, whether you're doing things really well or not, just new stimulus to the body can be received in different ways, right? So it's much akin to going for a 5-mile run and then deciding to go do a run you have never done before with tons of hills and tons of changes. It's in an area that you're just trying to figure out the terrain, and the body can respond differently. Same to exercise. And so when we experience new ranges of motion, we start saying, okay, well, how did that range of motion feel? Did we have control of it? Did we feel safe there? Was the load selection something that we could control? And so we start asking these, we can realize where we can manipulate certain variables the next time and have the body adapt and move forward with it. The final question that I like to ask is purely volume based. And I actually think this is an area that doesn't get enough chatter when it comes to pain management in the gym. And it is simply, how much of the movement have you done in the past? How much are you doing now? Coming back to running, if you ran 2 miles on week 1 and 20 miles on week 2, your body is typically going to feel it. It's the same when you're in the gym. If you squatted with 10 pounds week 1, 100 pounds week 2, or you did 1 set week 1, 3 sets week 2, it takes some time for your body to adapt to these things depending on where you are in your weightlifting journey. And so many times I can sit there and say, hey, next time, let's just do 2 sets instead of 3 and see how the body feels. Or let's do 5 reps instead of 10 and see how the body feels. And you start realizing that there was no change in position that was going to affect how pain came about. It simply was where your body was at tolerance-wise with respect to all these variables above. So when you run into some of these struggles, I encourage you to ask these 3 questions. Ultimately, if your pain hangs around, reach out to a PT, to an ortho, and get checked. But these are ways that you can manipulate your workouts to work around pain and work your way through different movements as you feel it. Give it a shot.